Hello, ladies and gents, boys and girls, people of all ages, sexualities, and identities, and welcome back to another film review. And we're moving on to none other than Thor: The Dark World. Now, what's the best way to describe Thor: The Dark World? Well, I'm going to describe it personally as none other than the equivalent of Blood Brothers, and there is a very important reason for that. This story starts off with Thor and Loki essentially going through the 9 realms and fighting off a bunch of dark elves. However, what Thor doesn't know until later on during one of the attacks is that when he gets stranded and separated from his brother has now made a plea with the Dark Elves to come up with essentially an alliance. He aims to overthrow Asgard once again, but the only way to do this is to confide in the Dark Elves. However, at first they have no reason to trust the God of Mischief, not until he reveals the one secret that Odin recently revealed to him. It turns out that Loki, who was thought to be Odin's son, is actually the son of a frost giant. With this new information in Loki's pocket, he sees it as a perfect opportunity to get revenge back on Odin for all of the merciless times that he was second best to Thor. Loki wants to be the god over Asgard, and the only way to do it is to find some way of taking down Thor and all of the Asgardians as a whole. Loki essentially fakes his death halfway through the course of this film and proves to Thor once again that he cannot be trusted. Thor battles against the Dark Elves and manages to hoard a lot of them off. However, when it comes down to it, the only one thing that he can't save is his own mother. The day suddenly comes when they're looking for Loki that they go to the wrong room and end up blood-curdlingly killing Thor's mother in cold blood. They also go looking for Jane because Jane has currently been taken to Asgard because she has had this power thrust upon her that she has no clue how it got there. Thor took her to Asgard, promising to be able to save her from what's going on, but it's quite clear he can't save Jane no matter where she goes. After managing to get rid of the energy that has been overtaking her, which is of course one of the Infinity Stones, which we'll get into in another video, essentially we find ourselves coming up against Thor's greatest battle yet. He manages to take down all the Dark Elves and manages to restore Asgard to its former self. However, he can't take back all of the desolation that has happened over the time. So, Thor: The Dark World. What would I give it out of 10? Honestly, Thor: The Dark World is not my favourite of the Thor films. Mainly because I feel like what made the first one so good is the fact that Thor has to deal with mortality. In this film, we essentially deal with a god with a little bit of a big ego who feels like he can take on anyone. Now, of course, he does get proven wrong a couple of times in this film, but I feel like the karma isn't strong enough in this film. And sadly, for that reason, I give Thor: The Dark World a 7 out of 10. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next film review. Until then, stay beautiful, you beautiful people.